I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm so glad to report back to you how far we have gone with the distribution of materials, relief materials to flood victims. First of all, I want to thank the following donors: Salimo Wits Foundation from Lagos. They brought in cartons of noodles, brought in used clothes, detergents, sanitary towels, soap, and some other things I can't remember now. And then we also procured noodles, several cartons of noodles. I think we will have bought more than up to 300 cartons of noodles, I think so. And the parents of my students at Petra Christian Academy, Ugeli, and the students themselves donated a lot of materials. I also want to thank all those who, one way or the other, contributed financially from the United States, from the UK, from within Nigeria. I thank you so much. I noticed that one particular tribe, because I like statistics, one particular tribe contributed about 1/3 of all the financial contributions that we had. I contributed about 1/5. They contributed 1/3. And they are not even from this area where the flood disaster is. I want to thank them. As a tribe, I respect so much. So, I want to give you a brief overview of what we have done. There are people who say, why do we do videos of distribution of relief materials? There are two scriptures in the Bible. It says that when you do charity work, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. But there's another scripture that says, let your light so shine that men may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. When you give to the needy and give to the poor personally, you don't need to advertise it. The donors of these materials are not on television doing the work of charity. My team and I are just servants to these people. Number one, to bring to the notice of the general public the situation the people are in, the sufferings they are going through. Number two, to let those who have donated to us see transparently what we are doing with the monies they gave to us, the places we have gone to with their goods and their money. Transparency is very important in fundraising and charity work. Very, very important. In fact, somebody sent 100,000 naira today after we did the video at Okwagbe that two busybodies were criticizing. He said that he knows that I will use his money with integrity and with frugality. So he sent 100,000. He doesn't want to be mentioned. Before I woke up this morning, 60,000 naira had been in the account. So I have an extra 160,000 naira. We have crossed the 1 million naira mark that I budgeted that we will reach on Saturday. Because people trust me. And if they trust me, I must transparently display what I have used their monies and their goods for. That's why we do the video. And we also, when we go there, the people want to express their gratitude for what we have brought. I'm not looking for popularity. I'm a very popular person. I'm known globally. I'm not looking for blessing. I'm already blessed. So if God is not going to bless me because I displayed whatever the people contributed, I'm already blessed. The blessings that God has given to me, I have not been able to fully harness them. Only the ability to write books. I have not finished writing the number of books or even reprinting the ones, the wisdom that he gave to me. The schools that I have not been able to harness this educational sector. So I'm not looking for political office. I don't want to be a politician or own a political office. I'm not seeking to be popular. I am a very, very abnormal person. But I need to show the plight of our people. I need to show that I have gone to this place, that place, to distribute these resources. There was a spectacular thing that happened at Okwagbe. In fact, Okwagbe is the most devastated part I have been to. People were paddling canoes in the tarred roads of Okwagbe. Okwagbe to Jeremy. I have not been to do. One of the young men, I think he's from a Okwemo community. I thought he was begging money. He said, Oga, it's not money that I need. My people need help. My people need help. So I told him, do videos, send to me, take pictures. So this morning, he sent me pictures and really terrible situation. So when we do these videos, we put these things online, it attracts donations. And people have contributed and donated. So carry your religious thought processes away from me. I'm a very practical person. I've been doing this thing since I was 27 years old. And I'm 63 now. I've been doing what I'm doing at charity work for years. So I know how to attract funds. I know how to attract materials. In these hard times, to raise ₦1 million is not an easy thing. So carry your comments away. And don't come here to comment about breaking Nigeria, about Nigeria has expired. I believe in this country. I believe in one Nigeria. If you break Nigeria into local government councils, the people collecting stickers and harassing vehicles in your local government, are they from another state? Your governors and your politicians that are not responsible, are they from another state? No. Nigerians are the same. If you break them into villages, they will still have problems. In your families, you have problems. Between you and husband and wife, you have problems. You don't know what it takes to fight a civil war. You don't know what it takes to partition a country. Go and ask India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Go to Yugoslavia, ask Macedonia, ask Sarajevo, ask Croatia, ask every component of former Yugoslavia that broke up after the death of President Tito. Go to the Soviet Union and ask what happened in Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh, what happened in Chechnya and several other places. If you don't know world history and you don't understand international politics, please don't be carried away by the euphoria of break Nigeria. Most of those talking about break Nigeria, they have double passport. Igboho has German passport. Nnamdi Kanu has a British passport. A host of these people agitating have dual citizenship. It is only me that is an Urhobo man, and I'm here. And if this country breaks up, the Igbo nation that has invested nearly everywhere in this country will lose a lot. And if you were a young man and you didn't experience the civil war, please go and ask older people the consequences of war and partition. What we need is to correct the abnormalities of this country. What we need is to bring a leadership that can unify this country. And that's why people like us like Peter Obi. He is a unifying factor. All the other politicians have been talking about it is my turn. We don't need Yoruba, we don't need Igbo candidate, we need Northern candidate. These people are after their own interests. I support Peter Obi because I see him as a unifying factor. I see him that it will quell the agitation in the East. I see him as a very frugal, knowledgeable. I see him, Dati Baba Ahmed, is a very intelligent northerner. There are people who have invested in this country. So don't bring your talk about breaking Nigeria here, please. I will react very aggressively. The next thing is that don't keep asking me what is government doing. If I had wealth like Dangote and I gave 1 billion for disaster relief, I'm not sure Delta State government might give more than 1 billion. So we just need to be wealthy, and then our collective contributions will go a long way. We won't wait for government to pass budget, do this. Some of the materials they will donate, they might not even reach the people. You remember palliatives? They were stored in warehouses. They were stored in warehouses in the east, stored in warehouses in the south, stored in warehouses in the north. So these politicians are the same, whether you break Nigeria or not. Now, we received donations and we went to the following places. Number one, there was somebody who had 20 or more people living with him in Ughelli, displaced people from Bayelsa and Isoko. On our way to Isoko land, we branched and gave him some materials, gave him some noodles. I subsequently went back with my team to give to them. Now that I mentioned team, I want to thank Raymond Orogun Ugbe of Salimo Wits Foundation for all his efforts. In fact, he had to go to Warri to buy the noodles to be able to save us 50,000 naira. So we saved 50,000 naira in the first purchase of 100 cartons of noodles. He is also the one that drives the Nissan Pathfinder SUV that carries some of the materials. Difficult terrains we go through. I want to thank Dennis Agori of the Africa Global Youth Foundation for joining us in this journey. He leaves his business to join us. Magnus followed us from Owo. Evans Mukoro, my nephew, also joined us. So I want to thank them, especially for being part of the team that went to distribute materials. So we left Ughelli. Our first port of call was Alakas, the primary or secondary school at Uzoro. It was a very pathetic sight. We gave them the materials that we brought. Then we saw the elderly, where Amos Obi was taking care of them with other people, and we also gave to the elderly. Boy, to spend old age in an IDP camp with your grandchild, you can't conceptualize what I'm saying. With mosquitoes, some of these old men are landlords, these old women are landladies, to be displaced to an IDP camp. And from there, we went to Ole. From Uzoro, went to Ole. We went to 2 IDP camps. One at former St. Michael's, Ole. We dropped materials there. The people were so excited. That day we went with Gary. We put the Gary in 5 custard bucket Gary quantity inside each bag. I think we distributed 27 of such baskets of Gary in bags. Then we left there to Isoko Central School, where we also donated materials. Then we came back home. The distance between Uzoro and Ole is very short, so we thought that we could access the Ole from Uzoro through the market, but the place was blocked, so we had to pass in between buildings and all that to meet the major road. When we finished distributing, every person was exhausted. The exhaustion is not from the work alone, because we have to load materials, load them, then before we distribute. Now, before we went to give materials to people in Ole and the man at Ogeli and subsequently Ozoro Ole, we called the Inenurie community to come to my school. My driver, Kingsley Oteri, lives at Inenurie, and he has to wade through water from Inenurie to Girls Model College, Evreni. So he informed his community people that we're going to distribute materials to them. So they came, we gave them noodles, we gave them clothes, and I think we gave them some other materials. So Inenurie community benefited. Then we subsequently came back home. We were exhausted, not because of the distribution alone, not because of the bad roads, but seeing distressed people, the pain the people are in, children who are naked, people who are without hope. Even though we brought some hope, it was very devastating for me in particular and very energy sapping. The next day we gathered materials. We went to Evreni. We distributed materials there. Coincidentally, I met my in-law Erijefe, whose children, I think Godwin Erijefe, whose children used to be in my school. We dropped the materials we had, and then we went towards Ewu. Got to Ewu. The camp is flooded, or was flooded. We had to drive through very difficult terrain. Thank God for the Hilux truck and the Nissan Pathfinder 7-seater SUV. I particularly like the Nissan Pathfinder SUV because carries load, also carries people, and is high from the ground. We distributed at Ewu. Then we came back home. The next journey was to Otu Jeremy. After loading, the loading is a process of its own. Loading, then we moved towards Otu Jeremy. The Otu Jeremy axis is another energy, emotion, sapping experience. I was at the Otu Jeremy Secretariat to give lectures to private school owners not too long ago. And we drove past there. This time, everywhere flooded. You could see the torrent of water flowing. When we were coming back from Okwagbe, we saw children with cutlasses cutting fishes, swimming across the road. We distributed the materials we had. They were so excited. They made a speech thanking us, and then we headed towards Okwagbe through Ohio. And I had to call somebody who was displaced from Okwagbe, now living at Owakwa. We dropped some materials for him, and then we got to Okwagbe. If you had been to Okwagbe before, to see what we saw is very, very devastating. We got to Okwagbe. The main road was overflooded, so canoes were on the road, tricycles were on the road, popularly called keke napep, and we had to drive through this water, very high volume of water. We were overtaking canoes, and you see the way big boats pass, and then small canoes will experience wave. When we were driving past the canoes, they were experiencing the same wave. We drove to Okwagbe Secondary School through water, and we had to transload the materials into a canoe for me to be able to meet the people. There was visible anger in Okwagbe. The people were angry. They thought that we were government officials or politicians. as we were doing the videos, they were saying that we keep coming to do videos without bringing any relief. We had never been there, and we brought relief for them. And I met a lady who is part of the camp. There is an NDDC camp in St. Vincent's College, so we didn't need to go there. Moreover, we didn't need to wade through water again. We don't know if the vehicles could survive. We didn't know if the vehicles could survive wading through water. They became amphibious. The roads became dual-purpose roads, canoes, and for vehicles. So I saw this woman with a cannula. Apparently, she had gone to take a drip. She was sick, but she's one of the organizers of the camp. The Okwagbe camp is the best organized camp we went to, organized by the community for their indigenous and displaced people. And I entered the canoe with Dennis Agori and Magnus, and we carried materials to the school. They surged towards us, pulled our canoe through the water by the gutter of the school, pulled our canoe on land. I carried a carton of Indomie, noodles, we got there. They were so excited. That was going to be their first meal for the day. And this was past 1 o'clock. They didn't know where their meal was coming from. They were surprised to see us with 30 cartons of noodles, 30 cartons of 40 packets each. That's 1,200 meals. There are 300 people there, so we brought 4 meals at least. And the people were so happy, so delighted to see us. They prayed. I've received so many prayers, and I told them, please pray for the donors, pray for our partners. And then we had to wade through the water back to Otu Jeremy. Somebody pursued me and brought a bottle of wine just to thank me for coming to Okwagbe. I told him he should pray for our partners. Then I remembered that the king of Jeremy was in his palace and might be surrounded by water. He's my brother, my Christian brother, and my good friend. And you will just assume that the king has everything, that every person is taking something to him. But I felt it was appropriate for us to check on him. Most people don't know I'm an Uyeme man. Some people think I'm Igbo, some people think I'm from Benue. People don't really know. I'm an Urobo man, I'm an Uyeme man, I'm from Otokutu. And we got to Otu Jeremy after Madam Africa Banga soup joint. And we drove further on, past the secretariat, and we couldn't go further on. And they said that we needed to board canoe. So we carried the noodles we got and entered a canoe. Each passenger 100 naira. But we paid 700 naira to carry us and our goods. And we had to carry the goods to the palace. The king was so delighted to see us. And I could see the joy that somebody checked on him. You see, every person will be thinking that every other person is taking something to the king and that the king has enough. Ironically, he said that we were the first set of people that brought anything tangible to him. He requested that we did pictures with him, and he was so happy. His generators, his generating set is filled to half the height with water. So he had to go and get a smaller generator to power his house. And that is the situation of the king in his palace. The water has dried about 6 inches. So we waded through water again, entered the canoe, paddled back to where we parked our vehicles, got to Otu Jeremy. Everybody was hungry and we needed to eat. Then we found our way back to Uheli. As I speak to you, we went to, I don't know how many IDP camps we've gone to now, but IDP camps, okay. We went to Efronto to Otedo, Efronto, we stopped in the secondary school. We called for people from Otedo to come. We couldn't get to Otedo. The road is flooded. So they came with canoe to collect what we were donating to them, 20 cartons of noodles, I think so, and they took to Otedo. And the President General called me to acknowledge receipt. You see, these issues about donations involves transparency. I gave to the people, they did video recording. When they got home, they showed the video. They confirmed that what is in the video tallies with what they distributed. Because what is going to happen next? Let me tell you what is going to happen next. People are going to get contracts to supply blankets, supply mattresses, supply food. Many of those things will not reach the displaced and affected people. They will end up in people's houses. People will make money from the suffering of people. So, but we who receive your donations, we take to them directly. I talked to Jeremy at Okwagbe Secondary School. They said that they are so happy that what we brought got to them directly, and that we should endeavor to come to them directly. So we have exhausted our supplies. We have about 20 cartons of noodles left. We don't have soap. We don't have detergent. We don't have used clothing. So we still need donations. We need another 1 million naira to do our second round of visit. Okwemo community is devastated. We didn't reach there. We need to call them to Okwagbe to collect their relief materials and take to Okwemo if we can't reach them. Ideze, the road has opened up. The road is now dry. Dr. Amos Obi was with me today, and I want to take materials to Ideze. My friend Bishop Bernard Dada is from Ideze. We need to take materials to Ideze. And then I skipped Otaudu community. I'm receiving messages that Otaudu is also devastated. So we need to take materials to Udu local government area, and we don't know how many communities we will meet there. I need your money. I am appealing for your donations. A lot of people have been donating, and I still need donations. If you donate 5,000 naira, 100 of you is that's 500,000, not so. If you donate 20,000 naira, 50 of you is 1 million. So we need this money. 10 of you giving us 100,000 each is 1 million. We will buy enough food, detergents to take to them for the next week of distribution. Because even if the water recedes, these people, some of them have no place to go to. So we need to give them food. We need to get medications for them. If you are a pharmacist, you are a medical doctor, you are a nurse listening to me, we need anti-malaria drugs. We need anti-hypertension drugs. I wish I would have enough time to check the blood pressures of people there, and if they are hypertensive, give them material. We need medical teams to go. We need medical teams to go. I want to especially thank the National, Civil Defense and Security, something, I can't remember the name, but they are nearly everywhere and helping to secure our people. Because even in the flood, people are breaking into people's houses to steal. People are stealing in IDP camps, but the camps I went to, security is well in place. I want to appeal to some of these IDP camps. I will not mention names. Show transparency. Let the people see what is in the stores. Let them know what is available. Let them know how you are managing it, because there were complaints of things coming and they are not being distributed. Then there is a particular IDP camp in Isoko in Ozoro. They complain that they eat breakfast by 1 p.m. and eat dinner by 2 a.m. I don't see why that should be the case. There is firewood around the place. You can cook these meals early enough so that our children do not suffer from malnutrition. Please, let these meals be prepared on time. If it is 2 meals, they can eat one at least by 11 o'clock, eat another one by 6 o'clock. In between, anything can happen. Please, please. We also need water, sachet water. We will carry it to them. So you have done so well. I am appealing to you again. I will put the account details on the screen. Please, my WhatsApp number is 07052136763. Why I'm calling the WhatsApp number is so that you can call me, send me a message, so that I can send you the account details, so that you will be sure you are sending the money to me directly. Now, after, we are going to give account of our expenditure of the first 1 million naira we received. So we are going to give an account. We will give a